He was low key like following her on some shit, and then and Sakura was drunk, and I was like trying to move around, talk to mad people. Like, I was with Cutie and Hassan and even Ludwig, I think that night. I mean, no, Ludwig was not there, but like Valkyrie was there. I was just talking to everybody. I was just having Sakura was just having fun and shit. And then I would come back, and Neil would like try to like I don't know. I guess he was like following Sakura. This is all alleged. Apple juice. Nah. Yeah, apple juice. She was not. Yo, she was on the apple juice. She was on the apple juice. She wasn't actually drunk. She was on the apple juice. This is all alleged and this is a fake story. But yeah, he was following her, and then I went up to him very nicely. I was like, yo, not gonna lie, like, this is my girl, right? I appreciate it if you just like backed off. Like, I didn't say those words. No, I definitely said something like that. And I was like, yo, can you chill, bro? Like, this my girl. Like, you gotta relax. And then, the night after, he like texted Sakura a long ass paragraph saying like, "Yo, Jason man moving mad weird. Jason's this, Jason's that." All I said was like, "Yo, you gotta chill out. Like, you're following Sakura, like trying to be touchy on Sakura and shit, while she's drunk and shit. Like, and he's trying to paint me as this guy, a bad person to Sakura. Yo, it was so weird, bro. He was so weird. He was so weird, bro. But yeah, I never liked the dude. So glad I could just say that now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the walls that surround singer-songwriter D4VD, aka David, are starting to crumble all around him. And I do really have to point out, man, I do think that is probably one of the stupidest stage names I've heard in a long time. But we're not really here to talk about stage names and how stupid they are and how unoriginal they are. We're here to talk about something else that's as old as time, okay? When you take a group of individuals and you commit a crime, there's an interesting phenomenon that takes place when the police catch up to you. Okay, it's called snitching. Now, this is a very unique phenomenon that always tends to take place around people who break the law. It's very effective and the police know how to use it. Okay. D4VD, if you guys don't remember, he had a Tesla in a lot that had gotten impounded. And when the smell of a foul, dead human being was starting to emanate from the car, people later on discovered that there was a dead body in there named Celeste Rivas. And she was sitting in that car, or at least found, on September 8th of 2025, and no arrest has been made, even though we know who owns the car, right? Now, there was muddy waters. The singer-songwriter David was not arrested. You know, there were a few investigations here and there. People looked into the house he was living. Nothing has turned up until recently. Now, recently, they've been doing their investigation a little bit quietly, and I think that's because of the high profile of who they're investigating. But as of a few days ago, we're starting to get trickle-fed a bit more information specifically about D4VD, or David's friends, specifically Neo Langston. Now, Neo Langston apparently was trying to not be as cooperative with the grand jury. He needed to go and give his side of the story so that they could move forward. After he left from the meeting in court with the grand jury, he took to Instagram and made a few, how do you say it? He didn't make incriminating statements, but he made statements that make you go, did you have something to do with this? Listen, boy, people are panicking. And I do believe that this is not going to end up being a cold case. You know, we just recently finished with, we haven't finished, but we recently were covering Nancy Guthrie, and that's looking like it's going to be a cold case. I do not think this is going to be anywhere near a cold case in a couple of months. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out what Neo Langston had to say on social media after he got out of the grand jury. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. So typically, especially if you're making a lot of money and you're in show business, but particularly show business, I feel like you're always going to have a bit of an entourage around you, especially if you came into a lot of money as a young guy and you have your friends employed around you, or you hang around your friends a lot, you're always going to have an entourage. You see it all the time with celebrities. You don't always have to be a celebrity to always be hanging with an entourage, but you typically see it happening. So when we think about Neo Langston, we have to think about this is a person who hangs out with David often. This is somebody who knows what David's thinking about at 3 a.m. They talk about girls. They hump each other on the leg and stuff and fuck around. These are close friends. Okay? That's the first thing that you should be worried about if you're a weird fuck like David. Allegedly, of course. Now let's see what Neo Langston had to say after exiting the grand jury. And I feel like whatever took place in there, he might be feeling a little guilty for what he said, so he needs to set the record straight. He begins by saying, I understand due to my silence and the silence in general, it leaves a void of information that everyone wants to fill. But at the end of the day, this case isn't about me. It isn't about you. It's about getting justice for the victim and her family. And I care a lot more about that than trying to fill the void because of public opinion. Obviously, wasn't doing my part at first, but now I am. And that's the first little, I don't want to say red flag, because this whole human being's a red flag. But that's the first little thing that I noticed he said that doesn't really sound too right. You giving up admission that you weren't cooperating, for lack of better words, makes you look bad. Why wouldn't you cooperate? Like, think about it. Something happened, I don't know, around somebody that I knew from last year, and it's a horrible charge, and they come around and they ask me, why wouldn't I just immediately give up information to clear my name? Why do you have to run and hide and avoid and try not to do it if you don't have to? That's just odd to me. He said, obviously wasn't doing my part at first, but I am now. Well, I'm glad you're doing your part now, bud. Anyways, he continues to say, I've stayed loyal to my mindset. And that's another thing. What the fuck does that mean? I've stayed loyal to my mindset and I will continue to. I'm not publicly going to give my opinion or emotion about this case because I find it disrespectful and not my place to weigh in on it, especially as it's ongoing. I'm still not going to spam posts to justify and perform my feelings and thoughts for the internet trying to satisfy people who have already made up their minds about me. In time, the record will speak for itself and I'm moving on with my life. Now, the private investigator who's been looking into this case, I believe his name is Steven, we're about to cover his analysis of all of this in a second. But the biggest thing he points out about this statement so far is everything's about me, I, my, me. Everything's about me. He's like, I'm not trying to satisfy people. In time, the record will speak for itself and I'm moving on with my life. It's very self-centered. It seems like a defensive stance other than just somebody who actually wants to come out and help. If you wanted to come out and help, honestly, you would have gone straight to the grand jury and dealt with business immediately if you actually wanted to help. This is making me feel like this little son of a bitch had something to do with this. But we don't know. I'm not saying he did. Let's continue. I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the blank window as soon as I get arrested and they slap that blank next to mine. And they slap that blank's name next to mine. So I'm assuming he said the word PDF file, maybe. They slapped that pedo's name next to mine. I'm not sure. But overall, I'm assuming he's talking about D4VD. And the way he's talking doesn't seem like he's too fond of David right now. Now, whether or not that's just a play to save his own ass or if it's true, it doesn't really matter for David. It's still negativity for David coming forward. I think this case is going to be blown wide open when they start to pressure enough people with jail time to flip on David. It always happens, bro. Like I said, it's the story as old as time. But let's finish up with his statement, his shitty, piss-poor statement. And for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it, and my warrant was retracted because there's more to the story than what's on the news. And I'm pretty sure there is a lot more to the story, Neo. I'm pretty sure. The more that there is to the story probably has something to do with you. You know what I mean? But anyways, before we even move forward, I want to show you a little clip of Neo and David because, we don't want to just blame this innocent man who doesn't even hang out with David like that or who isn't even cool with David like that. So let's just feel, for lack of better words, let's just feel that dynamic real quick, and you tell me if they're best friends or not.
How tall is you? I'm like 6'11". David's like 6'12". Yeah, something like that.
Look at a gay stripper with this.
I look like a gay stripper. Should I get
David Alstor? We're good.
Should I get naked right now?
6'7". Yeah, I'm like 6'7". Should I get that E-box, Neo?
Sorry.
What?
No, she said I look like a gay stripper, so I have to.
I'm not being clipped. I'm being clipped. No, don't clip that. And I'm not being here for no. Don't. If you could clip that, crop me out. Crop me out.
Whoa!
Wait.
I'm on my web or corner.
Wait, what happened? Oh shit. Hold on.
Should have sounded over.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on.
Hold on. Who's that?
I don't know. Oh shit.
Oh, Brandon.
Oh yeah.
Should have sounded over. How much that? I just somebody. It got some weight to it too, like.
David,
What's up?
put your drink down for 2 seconds. Come over here.
What? It's not alone in this world. Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy, Neo the Asian.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
It's your boy, Neo the Asian.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis here.
I'm sorry.
Shout out Neo. Shout out Neo the Asian on everything. Go follow.
So, long story short, right? I don't know what D4VD's sexuality is, and frankly, I don't give a fuck. But mainly, when the bros start acting gay with each other, it's a sign of, hey, we're friends. We're really close friends. You know what I mean? Like we're just doing gay shit now. We're just fucking around doing some gay, Anyway, so all that being said, I wanted to show you that clip because it seems like they were pretty close, and he seems like the type of person David might tell a few things to. But anyways, there's this private investigator named Stephen Fisher, and he was hired to do some snooping around the house that David was once living in, right? Steve Fisher, has been covering this case basically since the start. And he's been staying up to date with it ever since then. So ever since Neo posted this, he came up on his Twitter and gave his own opinions on what Neo the Asian had posted. So let's see his thoughts on that. So he quote tweets what Neo the Asian had posted, or Neo Langston, and he says, "So here's the thing, Neo. If you have to tell, quote unquote, my side of things, that means you are involved in the things. You just want everyone to believe you did less of the quote unquote things." And I mean, doesn't take a PI to figure that one out. If you had, again, say it's my best friend, right? And I care about him, but, I'm not going to jail for him. He's living his own life. Clearly, he got a life to live and I got one to live. So the feds come to me and they're like, hey, we need a statement. I give the statement and then I run to the internet and say my side of things. That doesn't make sense. The only thing I should run to the internet saying is, wow, I didn't know he was in that type of shit and I had nothing to do with it and I had nothing to say to them. I don't know. That's the only thing you should have to say. The second you're going on the internet and saying like, oh, I have receipts and, there's more sides to the story. And when they arrested me, they didn't even serve the warrant because there's more to the story. Huh? Nah, you did something. I know what type of man you are. You did something. Let's continue. People who weren't involved don't have a quote unquote my side of things. And how tone deaf are you exactly? Your Weep For Me post has 11 references to you and not a single mention of Celeste Rivas, who is dead. She's dead because of the quote unquote things you're trying to explain away. Nobody cares about your feelings, Neo. This is about Celeste and justice in her name. And then he posts something that Neo the Asian had posted on his Instagram. Now, this was his story, apparently to his close friends. But, if you're any type of celebrity, your close friend stories are going to get leaked. And so they did. TMZ got their hands on it. The PI got his hands on it. And now this is going all over the internet. And another reason to kind of kind of pinpoint that this is one spooked boy is that you go to his Instagram, you search it up, Neo the Asian. Do it right now. Search it up. It disappeared. It ain't there no longer. Legit. It ain't there no longer. He got spooked. He got scared. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think. I do believe that this is going to be the start to the cinder blocks falling down. London Bridge is falling down, baby, because it always starts from that one weak link and the whole chain collapses. We'll see what happens, man. As of now, D4VD is a free motherfucking man. Ain't that some shit? I'll see you guys real soon, man. Stay inside, stay safe. I love y'all. Go check out the second channel. We're actually turning the fuck up over there. We doing all types of shit. Go check it out. AG Tactical Clips. I'll see you real soon. Peace.